Hello, we're recording. What's up? Daniel. This is my welcome to the WindMill podcast. I think I'm settling into a little routine here. I think it's just one every 2 weeks. Has nothing to do with the fact that I have to pay more to release more than 2 hours a month. That has nothing to do with the fact that that exists. I definitely just wanted to do 1 hour every 2 weeks. That's it. Oh my goodness, it's been. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's been like a shitty week and a half or so. I've missed every single draw, every single one. It's impossible. Like I didn't think it was possible to go this long without hitting a draw, but I did. I did. I managed to do it. Statistically, I did the math on it, and it's bad. The math is bad. Don't even look. And at this point, I think someone should just get me a gun. I think someone should get me a gun and leave me to my own devices. Give me a gun and run away. That's what you should do. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh no, we're recording. All right, thank God. Anyways, yeah, I feel like this podcast uh idea is an up and down thing. I don't know. Every other day, I switch between this being the worst idea ever and hating myself because I'm a guy with a podcast. I'm a podcast guy. I almost wanted to get to like watching the UFC, but I was like, no, no. There's limits to this. There's limits to this. I what's the next step, guys? Just walking around with like a Joe Rogan T-shirt and shit. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Where does it end? Why can't I just be like a little femboy podcaster? Like why can't I just walk around in my little pink shirt and be a little femboy podcaster? Why does the cliche always go to like the Joe Rogan Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu shit? Why can't I just be like oop? Why can't my podcast just be oop? Man, did you guys laugh at that one? That was a funny one. Anyways, yeah, I guess as of recent, I'm learning that watching is could can be and is a lot of the time I've noticed very helpful to me growing. I don't know why. I really couldn't tell you why. Just sitting and absorbing is has been so beneficial to me. But I sit there and I listen, and sometimes I autistically ask people questions about their set, and clearly makes, especially if it's like a headliner on a Saturday, clearly makes them uncomfortable. I've now learned not to walk up to headliners and be like, "Why? What was the worst part of your set? Do you think? Like, why do you think your set sucked? What are you working on?" Because this brother just got off of like, it's not an open mic. This is a show, and he's busy right now. He's trying to relax, and I'm just stressing him out. I think honestly, my only skill in life is just to stress people out. Yeah, I went up 2 Saturdays ago just to watch on a Saturday at the comic strip, and Rel Battle was performing. He was headlining. He was closing the show, and I just went like I went up to him after, and I was like, Why did that suck?" And it wasn't like he didn't like the question. Yeah, it was like it's actually super awkward. I don't think I don't think I'm capable of like social situations, like just period, end of story, like any social situation. I just don't think I'm capable enough to approach it. A boy, like some days I get out there and I try to say hi to people and I try to be excited to see them. I try to make them comfortable, but I'm very clearly, you know, just a bad vibes kind of guy. I feel like I have to, I'm caught, like when I have a good social interaction, it's in spite of my terrible vibes, of my horrendous terrible vibes, and no one congratulates me enough for you know just living and breathing and just honestly being near people. Yep. And like I don't know, I feel like maybe I'm just picking the wrong personalities to throw at people, but I feel like I've been here long enough to know what I'm doing, so maybe I just suck socially. But whatever. Back to the state. I've done one set in the past week and a half, and at least I got that set in on Friday. It was at Gen Pop, and it's a pretty good set. I was getting heckled by the comics as per the usual at the Moon, and I think I did pretty good with it. I think I did all right. I was able to stumbled at the beginning, but I was able to start loading back, and I'm starting to think that my crowd work might be like a Cause I don't know, I feel like the expectation is to shoot back and spitting back and like hurting, like not hurting but like, you know, attacking, insulting another person. I'm sorry, maybe there's just like a crowd work where you're not attacking and insulting someone or being racist. Maybe it's a pipe dream, but like maybe there's a non-racist, non-violent ways to do crowd work. 'Cause that's the only way I've been doing it, and it's not good. People don't like being attacked. They're not fans of it. They don't. I couldn't imagine why. Well, at least for me, I love being attacked. I don't know. I'm a very like negative reinforcement kind of guy. I need to be insulted. I need to be put down. That's kind of kinky, but I need to be insulted. I need to be put down, and so I naturally am an insulting and putting down kind of guy, and not in a bad way. Like I'm not like pushing kids on the ground and being like, "Yo, get up, pussy." But yeah, I tend to be all attack and no, you know, I just stay in the pocket and I don't fix, you know, my dislikability problem. Speaking of my likability problem, boy is that better. Boy is that not a big issue nowadays. I'm working on it. I'm people like me on stage, off stage. Hell no, but like on stage, people are starting to like me more and yeah, I can feel the difference because like before when I got left, it was like in spite of my terrible, horrendous vibes. In spite of just being a guy who got up there and was just easy to hate. Now I get up there, I realize that like the way you present yourself is important, and you know, the first couple words you say, they almost decide the rest of your set. Again, I'm mostly doing like 5-minute sets, so I don't have a lot of time to win back the crowd. I don't have time for them to like realize, oh, it's just funny that he's an asshole. 5 minutes is enough time for them to be like, oh, he's an asshole, and I give up on him. That's it. That's what you know. But yeah, I've been that's better, and my writing has got is I've been writing and I've been chilling, and honestly, I've been loving just showing up at it. They just love the game. You know, I know I've only been here. I think I want to say 5 months now. But it's apparent to me now, and I think to some other people that he's like that. I'm here, and I'm here to do it right, and I'm not gonna be a loser about, you know, I'm not gonna be complacent, and I'm gonna be kind, and I'm gonna form relationships, and I'm not gonna show up just to have fun, 'cause having fun is for losers. You have to be stressed, you have to be struggling, you have to be working on something. How dare you show up to something you're passionate about to have fun, you loser? No, you have to be stressed, and you have to struggle. That's just how life is. And yeah, so I've been stressed and struggling, and I'm loving it, and I've been loving every single second of it, and I don't know why anyone would do anything blissfully and peacefully. I think I'm just like I don't think I'm built for peace. I don't think I'm built to like be comfortable. I think if I went to heaven and I wasn't allowed to like start problems, I'd be like, send me back, bro. You know. But who knows? Yeah, for real. Like I don't ever do things 'cause I just, you know, I'm just having fun doing them. I guess I mess around, but like I need to be I need to be doing something. I need to be stressed. I need to be like engaged. That's a problem for comedy or therapy. Who knows anymore? Somebody get this guy a gun. Somebody get this guy. But this is the joke I made yesterday. It's the funniest thing. I think every time I have like a small mental breakdown now, I'm be like, somebody get this guy a gun. Oh my god, that's some salty water. I forgot to put salt in there. But yeah, I've been putting salt in my water 'cause I heard that it was like more hydrating 'cause your body needs salt and water to hydrate it. Honestly, my idea of health is like the occasional like tip I see on Instagram Reels. I don't know how this health thing is so hard for everyone else. I'm putting salt in my water, and I'm hydrated. I'm healthy, and that's all you ever need. You don't need anything else. You don't need exercise. You don't need to be avoiding any bad things. You just put some salt in your water, and you're good. Problem solved. Salt in the water. It's weird that like salt water is different from salt in water. I've been thinking about that a lot. Like, why can I drink salt water? Like, water in salt and water, and it's healthy. It's good for me. But salt water is Oh, you're gonna get diarrhea. You're gonna die. Yeah, man. I haven't had diarrhea in a while. I kind of miss it. I don't know. I feel like it's. I miss being able to say like, "Oh, bro, you couldn't imagine what I did in there." Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the most fun times of my life have been right after I nuked a bathroom, and it's a shame that I'm not doing that all the time. I dream life for me is just walking around nuking bathrooms and just like it's saying it to one person and walking away, being like, brother, don't go into that bathroom, and then leaving. Like, I just walk into like restaurants, public places. I would just eviscerate. I would shred bathrooms. And yeah, for sure, for sure. I think honestly, if you ask me right now, what my 5 year plan is, I would say career wise, I don't know, but bathroom wise, I'm pretty locked in. I'm one of the young players in the game, and people are noticing me. I'm getting pretty good at this nuking bathrooms thing, and I think in 5 years I plan to be one of the greats in the bathrooms, one of the bathroom greats. I have a different flow, a different flow, a different style, a different consistency than anyone else, and I really do think I have what it takes to really be taking down some of these elite level bathrooms. They bring in these high level toilets that they say, oh, you can't clog this toilet, Daniel. They tell you they've been saying you can't clog, and then I step in and I turn that toilet into a not toilet anymore, more of just like a art piece. It's not gonna be flushing after me. Shitty joke. I think that's actually a funny joke. I'm gonna think about this bathroom situation more. Yeah, for sure. Also, I hate hockey. I realized this. Well, I've always hated hockey, but I realized why I hate hockey. Cause it was definitely made by accident. Hockey was for sure an accident, and you know, come on, look at it. Like hockey, if you look at the sport, it just seemed like six guys were on a frozen lake drunk one time, and they basically just started a drunk ice fight club. That's it. That's what hockey is, a drunk ice fight club. Then one day someone got hurt too hard, and they like, all right, we gotta make it a game. You can still fight, but only sometimes, and that's how hockey happened. That's how hockey happened. I prefer like a low testosterone, high fertility sport, because I am a low testosterone, high fertility man. Like baseball. Yeah, for sure. Baseball just exists because a bunch of guys were like, all right, how do we get some hoes? Like that's what baseball was. How do we get some hoes with minimal effort? And then they're like, I don't know, they hit a ball and tell tell everyone it's hard. Tell everyone it's such a hard sport. Baseball is the easiest sport, but if you just tell the women it's hard, they'll believe it, and then they'll be like, "Oh my God, you're such an athlete. You're so amazing," and and then they're gonna fall in love with you. You're gonna get so many hoes because this baseball situation. Baseball was basically the white man's attempt to catch up to the how much black guys pulled, and it worked for a second until the Colombians came, took over. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have a lot of updates because it's been such a dry little while for comedy. I wish I had more to say. I do think on the first part I talked about trusting the audience and trusting the audience to accept me and trusting myself to not be a loser up there. And I think it is something that's a little bit more inherent in me now. It's not something I want to be. I want to be thinking about. Something I want to just have in me. I want to inertly trust these people to like me because that's what gives me the confidence to play around and stress them out a little bit and then like de-stress I'm also realizing this could be wrong. Again, I'm a loser, but I'm potentially realizing I noticed this the other day because when I was stressing out a friend of mine and then de-stressing out a friend of mine back and forth, I was just stressing them out, relaxing them, stressing them. And I was like, oh, I think my style, but at least my funnier jokes, I build stress and I knock it down. Maybe that's like a everyone comedy thing, but I guess the setup and premise is building up some kind of idea or stress, and then a setup or a premise builds up and a punchline knocks it down. But I think the idea of really I love the idea of being like someone else's voice of anxiety. I don't know if that's gonna find a place in my comedy, 'cause that would be fun. Imagine if your anxiety was really funny on stage. That could be a cool way. That could be like, a little bit of like a group healing type thing. Imagine if if everyone's voice of anxiety was super hilarious. You would be less anxious inherently. I was talking to a friend of mine and about how he wants his comedy to like teach people things. I don't know if I'm a teacher. I don't know if I'm gonna teach lessons. 'Cause I think I'm not here to be good. I'm not here to. Well, I mean, I am here to be good, but like I'm not here to teach people, big lessons. And I'm not gonna do that Dave Chappelle comedy where maybe I do end up doing it where I come in and I point out societal problems we're dealing with, and I'm funny throughout the way, because in the same way Big Papa Chappelle is, but I don't know if that's the direction I'm headed. I think the direction I'm headed is just to be autistic. I think no one else gets this, because I keep telling other comics about how I want to get up on stage with like an autistic energy. And no one sees the autistic energy in me when I'm on stage, but that's the feeling I'm trying to give out. Like that's how lost in translation I am. But that's how lost the energy inside of me gets on the way out of me. 'Cause I swear I'm being super autistic up there, but I guess not. It's so weird to me. Again, this is a very common thing for comics where you're obsessed with the perception of how people perceive you versus how you try to present yourself. And it is so interesting, because people will be like, you seem very confident up there. I'll be like, I wasn't trying to look confident. I was actually trying to be anxious and autistic. But they'll be like, you were they just won't see it. And then you have like a small mental crisis about, but like, is this a normal thing for the rest of my life? Or like, am I presenting something else? Like when I try to be comforting and nice people and like have good social interactions, are they seeing what I'm trying to give them, or are they have to be seeing something else? Because so many of them go so poorly, so poorly. It's wow. Sometimes I have a social interaction. I'm like, brother, you should kill yourself. Like you get a gun or kill yourself. Find an option. Maybe you can threaten them into liking you. Thinking about it. No, I'm not thinking about threatening or killing myself, guys. Relax. Not thinking of threatening or people or killing myself. To all one of you, the whole one person that listens, probably heard. I've already said some of this stuff to you. These are just my thoughts throughout the week, essentially, and you're like, well, such is life. Such is life. This podcast isn't really for success, or I don't even think it's for entertainment. I'm just here because I'm here. I think some things feel right. I think I'm just in the gym right now. I'm in the comedy gym. I'm getting time in front of a mic. Rarely do you ever get an hour of material in. I couldn't even do an hour. I think if you gave me a mic, and it would suck for an hour. God, no one give me an hour. Don't worry, they're not trying, but yeah, this is fun. I get to sit in front of a microphone and say whatever thoughts come to my head. I really, some things I've said and some things I've written, but I really try to like spitball. I really try to sit here and give you just like a full authentic off the riff Daniel. But sometimes off the riff Daniel is just people. I don't have a lot of thoughts. I've realized. I think I have a lot of words. Yeah, if that makes sense. Like I have a lot of words, and I think that if I say enough words in a row, I could probably make a thought out of that. But I swear I'm like reverse engineering thoughts sometimes. Sometimes I'll be in like a deep conversation with somebody, and I won't even know where it's headed, but and they'll come out of it and be like, "Wow, that's an interesting point of view," and I'll be like, "Thank you, you're welcome. I definitely was doing something there. I was trying to do something there. It's very wise of me to say some things. No, sometimes I say things. That's why I think a lot of like my advice that I give to people, like I definitely got off of like a TikTok, like like I made. It's just like my whatever is floating around in my subconscious, I'm throwing at them, and then if it lands, it lands, and I seem pretty cool. I seem like I know what I'm doing. I do not know what I'm doing. I'm scared and lost, just like everyone else. More scared and lost. You don't go into comedy because you're having a good time. I like to do this thing where I'll check in with a lot of comics if I don't see them for like 4 days in a row, because we're all supposed to see each other so often, right? You're all going to the same shows. You get used to seeing each other, and if you don't see one, like it's you gotta check on them, because comedy is often like a last step towards like suicide. I realized you start comedy, and you're just like it's either it's this or I go home and I kill myself. Hopefully this set goes well. It's either I get a gun or I kill or I kill myself. It's either someone gives me a gun or and I become a problem for all of you, or I just become a problem for myself. We'll see where this set takes me. Depends on how much everyone else laughs. So I like to check in on a lot of, especially the new, like I feel like every time I see a newer comic, I gotta be like, hey man, are you good? Like, do you need a hug like this? Yeah, I was talking to a comic who had just like who started comedy like maybe a couple years ago, did a couple sets, then didn't go back to it until like very recently. And I was like, oh, did when you quit, did things just get better for you? And it was like pretty much yeah, like yeah, like yeah, essentially like. If you're completely fulfilled in life, that means you don't have to get up on stage and make people smile and laugh. I've also been paying attention to. I've been trying to pay attention to like what makes someone get on stage and do comedy, because it's essentially just like a product of insecurity, and that's just how it is. We are human, and every single one of our actions is a product of an insecurity, or we are all walking balls of insecurity. Every single one of our actions is a product of it, and it's fun to see why someone is in the same place you are, if for a different reason. Like clearly for me, I really don't think I'm a very likable person. I'm scared that no one likes me, and so I get up on stage and I try to make a lot of people like me, and then that's what it is. But I was talking to another comic recently. Shout out Kevin. He was like, I want to make it just the underdog story, show that your hard work means something, and it's fun seeing where like why, like if you end up in the same space, like spot as someone else. Isn't it interesting to know that they got you there from like a different route? So I think I'm gonna start asking like trying to find out what insecurity is making you stay here, right? Because you get into comedy because something bad happened. Usually it's oftentimes like a girl, or you lost your job and now you're doing comedy. uh but yeah, so it's fun to see, like, okay, so like there's things that bring you here, but like what's making you stay? Because there are like some commonalities between a lot of us. No one say narcissism, everyone say narcissism. I was actually in a group of people recently, and we were having like a conversation about narcissists, and apparently I was like the only person in that group that knew about narcissism as a whole, and I just knew too many of the answers, and it really looked like I was just one of the guys. I felt like one of these is not like the others. I felt like I knew too many of the answers. They were looking at me like, why do you know so much? And I'm like, I don't know. I hope I'm not a narcissist. I feel like I have too many. I thought I started thinking I was a narcissist for a second. It was scary because they all looked at me, and I was like, guys, I promise I'm not one, but they just didn't believe me. Like, I guess if you have the enemy's battle plans, you probably are one of them. I didn't sneak into like a narcissist diary. Like I just know some stuff, but I feel like we're all to an extent like narcissists. That's actually a thing that like a lot of Egyptians struggle with, narcissism. Because at least for the men, because you grow up and your mom says you're perfect, you're perfect, you're perfect, you're amazing. But like that's just not true. No one's perfect. No one's amazing. And I feel like the definition of a narcissist isn't exactly true, because like it's I don't think a lot of them are going like, I'm perfect, I'm amazing, and then you want to. I feel like it's definitely like different than that, but so like I feel like everyone's base definition of a narcissist is wrong. I think we should honestly call them just like. I think the definition should. I don't even think there should be a definition. There should just be like a. I feel like narcissist should be like a number from 0 to 10. Like narcissism 4. Because we all have some form of it. And this is not to be like misconstrued with like just like liking yourself. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. I guess if you like yourself too much, that's like a different problem. Because there's people that are like self-obsessed, but they're not narcissistic. I feel like those are two different things, and we're just not addressing that. But God save us. God save us all. Yeah. I guess again, narcissism is just like a specific series of like defense mechanisms. I guess is the way I would define it. But that's enough about narcissism. I'm definitely not one of those guys. I promise. I promise. I'm a huge promise. Huge pinky swear promise. I am one of those guys, I think, but we'll see. We'll see in the future. I'm gonna love bomb some girls and go home. Go home, and then then I'm one of these days. One of them's gonna trick me into marriage, and then I'm just gonna Mike Tyson punch out on that hoe because it's her fault. It's her fault she married a narcissist, and then yeah. Yeah, it's a common. I don't know how that tangent. I don't like that tangent. Ignore the last 5 minutes. Or don't. You know, I don't care what you think of me, but I hope you like me. I don't care if you have a low opinion of me, but if you like me, I'm okay with it. I'm happy. If you as long as you like me, it's okay. If you think I'm an idiot, please. Do you like me? Do you think I'm chill? Do you love me? Do you please love me? Please, I need you to like me. I need you to like me. I was also talking to someone recently about like how, cause I grew up in a very like a highly judgmental, you know, high expectation culture where I was expected to be a certain way and I wasn't. I feel like talking about it. It's a little gay if we're being honest, cause like but whatever. Oh, really? I don't fit in with you guys. What does that mean, buddy? What does that mean? No, but I really didn't fit in growing up. And I met someone that didn't feel like they had a place growing up either, and we just both had very because their response was to like hyper conform, and mine was to like try to let go, but they were still like held down. But again, I love seeing like I love reading people. I love getting into that, and I love figuring them out, and I love as a process helping myself figure it out because you can see parallels between yourself and others. You can see a parallel in yourself in everyone around you, and I think once you do that, that's I think was I think my journey to like being a caring and kind person because as soon as you realize parallels between yourself and others, you like just inherently can't be overly judgmental. Like obviously people do bad things, but if you realize like how similar we are, not even like just in a physical way. Because obviously you can say, oh, like we're both human, but like no, but like if you really read into people, you can realize how that's like you can really give yourself empathy because that is something I struggled with growing up. I wasn't born with empathy, and I didn't get it until far too late. No one apparently it's a learned process, empathy, and I never learned it until too late. So it's more of like a emotion sometimes for me, but this really helps me when I get to read people and understand them and notice their parallels with me. Then they have a little bit of Daniel in them, and then my narcissism kicks in and is naturally is naturally protective of them, and I like them a little bit more. Who said I was a narcissist? What the hell? Somebody get this guy a gun. Somebody get this guy a gun. Somebody get this high testosterone, low testosterone, high fertility man a gun. See where life takes him. Not gonna win a fight, but I could impregnate a dandelion. But with the gun, I can win a fight, and then I'm the ultimate man. That's how you define men: fighting and fertility, sperm count, and like a UFC score. That's it. which I guess would make I guess I wonder what UFC fighter has what like if there was like a scale of UFC wins and sperm count, who would be the winner? Because you can win, that doesn't give you the best sperm count, and that's really all that's important about being a man. Because like if you can't even make babies, like what are you doing here? We should define people by their capacity to make babies. I think personally, I think you're worth nothing if you're not capable of making a baby, and if you don't, you suck and you're garbage and you're going to hell. Personally, that's my own personal opinion, and then you can't change that. This is my truth. My truth is that you suck if you don't make a baby, and just kidding. That's not true. The baby thing is fun. The baby thing is fun because there's a lot of people that are like really obsessed with having them, and there's a lot of people that are like really focused on not having. When like I don't think babies are something you should really super plan. Like obviously, chase a better life, have a healthy, loving relationship if that's what you want, and focus on that stuff. And I feel like babies should just be like a product of the love in your life. But hey, that's my own that's my own liberal ideas. My own fuck these liberals. They think babies should be a product of love. No, these babies. I think honestly, we should return to conservative values. Baby should be a solution to your own problems. A baby is a solution. It's not just like a 12-pound retard. It's a solution to your problems, and you will look to it. You will look to it, and there can be no problems from looking to this baby for solutions to your problems. Because babies can't have problems. They're too goo goo gaga. So it fixes your problems. You don't give it any of your problems because it's a goo goo gaga baby. And boom, done. It grows up as a perfectly healthy person that obviously solved all of your problems. You should actually, you know what? Babies, fuck therapy. Have a kid. That's what life has taught me. Screw therapy. Put a baby in someone, and then as the baby grows up, just lightly impart your insecurities and your problems on that baby until one day it grows up and doesn't know why it wants to get a gun or kill itself. But that's perfect. That's how you know you made it as a parent. If the baby's looking for a gun or a rope. Is that a funny joke? I feel like that's a funny joke, and I'm gonna write it down. Actually, I don't know if that's a funny joke. Baby, gun rope, baby gun rope. I wrote down the bathroom joke earlier, but just type bathroom. That does not bathroom nuke. That'll remind me. Oh yeah. My handwriting is like hieroglyphs, man. Like I feel like the scientists, like I don't know. I feel like if you sent me to the pyramids, I could just definitely figure that stuff out. Like it was just hieroglyphs were just definitely like just like a lesser form of human trying to figure out writing, and that's just me. This literacy thing has never been my strong suit. I stutter. My handwriting sucks. I often stumble on my words, and I think that's what makes me a perfect comedian because I'm so bad with the words. I think that if you really put down the building blocks of a great comedian, like a comedian's comedian, you first of all deep crippling insecurity, looking for a gun, poor literary ability. I struggle to read. I writing is hard, and also the order of the months. Screw knowing that. Who needs to know that? Not me. I just check my calendar after the 30th. That's what I do. Or the 31st. I know some of them have 31 days. Because I'm a winner. Oh my god, I'm not a winner. Wow. No, it's alright. We're making it. We're going. Yeah, I mean, as of late, I've actually been getting some recognition from some of the comics. I feel like people are like realizing that I'm here to stay, or if not, I'm here correctly. I'm here to be here, and I'm working hard, and I was right. A lot of people, they came up to me when I started and they said nothing you do matters as long as you get on stage, and I said no, everything I do matters. This is where I build my foundation. Imagine if someone was learning to bodybuild, and then the people teaching him were like, nah, your form will come. No, what do you mean your form will come? This is where you build your bad habits or your good habits. This is the most critical time in my development. In my the earlier, the more critical. That's how like everything works. And for some reason, comedy is just one of those like, what are you gonna do? Like they're all far too chill. I feel like the basic advice for a comedian is the worst advice you could give anyone. I can't believe it. I hate it when people like don't give like constructive advice, and they say, good job, and you just didn't do a good job. There is no good job. And if I hate it, and I wanna choke people. I want someone get me a gun. You know, I'll just bring a gun to a show and threaten people for advice. Like, hey, how could I improve? And just like put a gun in their face. How can I improve, pussy? Tell me what to do. But obviously, like there is like a there's a reason they say that. They say because time is everything. Nothing beats actually doing the material you're working on and getting up there. But there is still more you can do. Like showing up is supposed to be half of the battle, not the whole battle. For me, I think showing up is like a quarter of the battle. The other three quarters are probably like don't fight anybody. Don't get complacent, and don't go home crying. Those are no one thinks about the part of the battle that's getting home from the battle. You have to like you have to review, de-stress, think. No, the most important part of the battle happens after the battle. That's not true. But you know what I mean. Like reflection is very important, and I feel like that's just not. Well, I guess it's not exactly emphasized, because if you have the basic building blocks to be a comedian, you're gonna be overthinking it the whole ride home anyways, so it doesn't really matter. No one's gonna be like, think about this later, because you already are gonna be thinking about it later. I'm thinking about things that happened 4 years ago. Consider I can't imagine I still have like memory, like RAM in space in my head, because I'm constantly thinking about so many things, and so many of the same things over and over again. I don't know why I'm flipping my book around. I hope you did not hear that burp. It was gross. And but yeah, so I guess reflection isn't really a part of the battle if that's all you do all day anyways. And so yeah, I guess showing up is 1/3 of the battle. The other third is being like a responsible, mature human being, and the other third is actually avoiding complacency and working hard and improving. And no one talks about that stuff, and I hate it. There should be like a that's just good general life rules and tips. That's not even a comedy thing, right? I don't know. I'm just a man. I'm just a boy. I'm just a guy. Yep. Just me and you. I've been writing actually, not as much as I like. I don't know. I get it, that I get the idea that like you don't have to write every single terrible thought, because I really did when I started. I was like, I'm gonna write 100 jokes, and at some point the jokes just became, sorry, phone ringer, but at some point the jokes just became trash. They look, it was just like pussy ring leash. What do you want me to do with that? What do you want me? What do you? So clearly there's like a quality problem. So and honestly that's my fault, because who would ever put quantity on an improvement to an art? I feel like quantity is the enemy of quality sometimes. So now I'm focusing on, like, I accidentally made a good joke the one time a while ago, and so I know what it feels like to make a good joke, and I know how to structure a good joke, and well, I guess a couple, but that's the focus on. The focus on is obsessing over structure and form and delivery of just. I don't care how minute a detail is. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna focus on that detail, because I believe that's how I'm gonna improve. And obviously things are open to change. I've shifted game plans several times, and I love that. The nothing works until it works, right? So you change, you shift, and you improve. You change your mindset, you change your game. You change the systems you have in your life, cause that's how you reach new heights. It's not by continuing to do the same thing again, right? Like, obviously consistency is something, and but like you have to be able to shift and pivot right when you're on the back foot, and I'm I guess constantly on my back foot. A little bit of a boxing reference for the men because I have so many men watching this. There's gonna be two people watching this. I could call you out by name, but you know who you are. Okay. Yeah. Such is life. So I really do feel like I'm improving and growing. We're gonna take a break here. All right, we're back. I just had to take a piss. And honestly, speaking of pissing, my sister's wedding happened recently, just this last Saturday. And oh my god, what did I have the most fun of my life? Partying it doesn't mean anything. Okay, I stopped partying because it was terrible for me and it sucked and it was meaningless. But as soon as the partying is for your sister's wedding, oh my goodness, does it change the beat? I got hammered. Jesus. Well, I guess not Jesus. He wasn't a big fan of what I did that night, but I got so at some point the caterer at the bar was just like, "Hey Daniel, you know how hard you have to work to get the get the bartender." I don't remember telling her my name. I probably did tell her my name, I guess. I forgot hers, but yeah, it was a blast. I was sitting around. I uh I think I'm potentially the most fun person ever. When I'm not disappearing and running around. Danced the whole night away. My sister and her husband left, and the next day my sister was like, "Hey Daniel, you have a drink?" Yeah, yeah. You ever? I don't drink very often at all, but you know how drunk you have to get for someone to be like, "This one time you drank was a drinking problem." Like I, I think this was you know how crazy you have to be to have the one time you drink be a drinking problem. Oh my goodness, I was just swaying around at some. Trying to kiss, men. Just I woke up the next day, went to a barbecue, and was like, one of the people, one of the guys, he was like, "Bro, I think you tried to kiss me." I was like, "Hey, don't worry about me, bro. Worry about yourself, all right." Apparently, I was like arguing to the air at some point. I don't know if I was. I think they were messing with me. But also, if I've had so much to drink that I'm arguing to the air, that sounds like alcohol poisoning. And the fact that no one like was like, "Hey, Daniel, do you need to go to the emergency room?" No one did that. But I guess that's just how it is when you're a big, strong man, and everyone has so much. That's what people have so much respect for me. They'll just let me die of alcohol poisoning. That's the conclusion I'm deciding to draw, and that's it. Don't have. That's just how it is. They had so much respect to me. They're like, if he dies from alcohol poisoning, it was his decision. Let him hallucinate and argue to the air. Uh, yeah. I can't throw up, so it doesn't matter how much I drink. It goes in. It goes in and it gets absorbed. But it's wild. At some point, the lady at the bar was handing me like two drinks at a time, and I was dancing. I really wish I could tell you more about the night, but I kind of lightly blacked out. Some would call it a brown out. I just somewhere between no remembering the whole night and definitely losing large chunks of it. I'm getting a bunch of calls from like numbers I don't recognize nowadays, and I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate it. I hate how many calls I get all day. Even you know what? I hate when people I know call me. In general, if I'm being honest, it sucks. I hate being contacted in general. I don't like being contacted. Uh, but if I'm contacting you, you have to answer, or we have a problem, and I'm gonna cry. Cause like why on earth would you try to contact me at any hour? I'm currently obviously I'm not busy. I can definitely answer you, but why are you contacting me? It's like I feel I want to be Shrek. I want to be Shrek before he had friends. Cause it was just him and his swamp, and that's it. Before that loser donkey showed up, started messing around with his romantic, and. But I don't want like the Shrek movies to happen. I want to be pre movie Shrek forever. I would like to stay that way. Cause imagine like how much comedy I could do. It's nothing would be holding me back. I'd live in my swamp, and I would probably, I'd probably to write jokes. And then I'd be a green man, and that's it. I couldn't imagine a more perfect life. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd make for a very good Loner. I think I'd be a pretty good loner. Like, who needs social interaction when you have. Right. Awesome. Who needs social interaction when you have nothing? When you have nothing in your life and you want to die, who needs social interaction? Does somebody get this guy a gun? Yeah. I've been thinking about. I've been thinking a lot about my childhood recently, but in like a fun way. I'm thinking of like people love to think about the bad things in their childhood. I'm thinking of the bad things I did during my childhood and how much I don't regret them at all. Uh, like I don't regret any. I used to whip people and at recess. I used to just make sure like I would whip them with my sweater and make sure the metal part of my sweater would hit them, like of the zipper. And I look too fondly on those memories to want to change anything. Yeah, that's unrelated. I don't know. I feel like people don't really. It's hard to express like the sociopath in me. Because I'm not a sociopath. I just have like a chronically underdeveloped frontal lobe. So which just presents itself as like as like a like autistic or like sociopathic. But honestly, there isn't like a. It's not like there's a bad system. There just isn't a system in place. So it's hard to let people know like what's actually happening in my head, cause honestly, like I'm probably like 15 years behind, where I'm supposed to be. And like any woman that likes me is probably a pedophile, and it's her fault. She sucks. It's your fault. It's your fault. I love bombed you, and it's because I'm just a boy. I'm just a guy, and that joke isn't funny anymore. I hate it. I should stop talking about love bombing and narcissism. If it ever happens, I'm gonna be so angry at myself because I basically talked it into existence. I had too much fun with the joke and forgot it wasn't supposed to be real life. That happens to me sometimes, and it's unfortunate, but it is unbelievably hilarious. Imagine if like all the jokes you say on stage like become true. Oh my god, that's actually a pretty funny skit idea. Like, yeah, every joke you say on stage just becomes true. I'm gonna write that down. I feel like I'm writing down a lot today. I'm also feeling sad just in general. You guys ever have like just general sadness just for no reason? I swear to God, like no one else. A lot of people don't go through like months of mania and anxiety. And I don't know why. And it's like hard to explain to people like I'm having a bad day, but it's been a bad day every day, and there's no reason for it. Just because like I'm built to have bad days. I can't have good days, but I can have good days. But they're at the end of the day, they're always bad days. They have to. I have to end every day in a bad day, or else something is wrong. I have to ruin. It has to be ruined, and it has to suck. Cause otherwise I'm not gonna be stressed out. And I'm. You need to be stressed out. How are you gonna improve without being stressed out? All right, guys. Thank you for listening. This has been the Windmill podcast. I guess we have a schedule now. It's gonna be once every 2 weeks. I've been Daniel. I wish I had more like comedy updates for you, but honestly, I feel I'm feeling improvement, but I'm not feeling like I'm feeling big improvement, but I'm not feeling like you know big reflection, if that makes sense. Like I don't. I think I think my craft is kind of like subconsciously getting better, and that's all I can ask for. Sometimes things happen and you don't know the solution or you don't know the cause, but like it's not my job to count my blessing or to question my blessings. It is my job to count them though, and I'm not gonna ask why things happen to me. I'm just gonna be happy that they're happening or sad that they're happening, depending on what's happening. Recently, there's been a lot of happy happening to me, which is really nice. I'm not often stable for this long. Like this is potentially the most some of the most stable I've been in a while, and it feels good. It feels good to be stable, and it's not like stable in like a manic. a manic new personality is stable, and I'm trying, I'm like dissociated. Like I'm still like the old anxious, loser, who with all these mental issues. But now I'm like, now I have like support and like coping mechanisms, I guess. So like you couldn't imagine like yeah, of course I have an endless amount of terrible days and anxiety, but like in the best way possible. So so such is life. I'm happy to be here. I'm not looking for a gun or a rope. Well, unless that'd be a really fun joke. Imagine if I showed up with a gun or a rope. No, it wouldn't. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Again, you've been the best audience I've had in my life. Me and this camera knows so many of my secrets. I do several takes sometimes with these podcasts, and some of the takes don't make it because obviously I said some weird thing or it was super boring. Either way, you have to cut it because you can't say some of the thoughts you have. I'm gonna rant. Actually, you know what? Yeah, this is the end of the podcast. I'm gonna stop rambling. But one final point: I have so many weird thoughts, and that I can't just say out loud. I have so many weird thoughts I can't say out loud. Like I like just unbelievably creepy shit all the time. Yeah, just walking down the street, just like weird stuff will happen in my head, and it's a product. I know why, but it's so annoying that like even I wish I was so comfortable with myself and my thoughts that I could say what I'm thinking, but clearly you can't. Like I'll tell it to people and they'll be like, oh no, like you're a good guy, you can say whatever you want. No, you can't say whatever you want. You can't just say, you can't even imply the things I'm saying because it's weird and it's crazy and it's gross. But yeah, but I'm stable and I'm happy. Someone don't get me a gun. And yeah, I do have a crazy couple months ahead of me. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this journey takes us, guys. Thank you for joining me on the Windmill podcast. I feel like I've been chasing my delusions and my bliss and my windmills, and I hope you have been too. I hope you've been delusional. I hope you've just been unable to connect with reality, because that's where you should be. Reality is fake. Your perception of the world is one large assumption by your brain, and you should always be weary of that. And you should be weary that you make your own truth, you make your own path, and that's me. I've been Daniel, and I'm signing off. Bye.